So the green streak continues. We ended up having another phenomenal green day. I ended up buying and alerting puts when SPY was at $397.70 at the exact top of the 1 minute candle at 10:11 a.m. for a very, very nice profit return as it quickly crashed to $395.80. With that being said, I'm going to share with you how I came up with that plan. I'm going to share with you the trading strategy that I use to make money within the market today. And in terms of the trading plan, this was phenomenal, folks. As you can see right here in the pre-market at 4:30 a.m., I told people the best price to buy the SPY today was at $393.74. This is where you want to buy the SPY for a gap close reversal for a bounce. And as you could see, that was literally the lows in the pre-market. That was the exact lows in the pre-market. So if you ever see this retest back to that price when that gap actually fills during normal trading hours, you're going to want to look to buy the dip for the next bear trap there. So write that down. Now, in terms of my plan for puts, it was not at the exact top, but in terms of how I traded the puts, I bought them at the exact top and I timed it perfectly. In terms of will alerts, this is where I alert my best trading setups at the best prices. As you can see, the trade that I alerted today was to buy 398 puts. They were barely in the money. They were only 30 cents in the money when I bought them. SPY was trading at $397.70. I bought 398 puts, 30 cents in the money, and I alerted this at 10:11 a.m. As you can see, if we go to the chart right here at 10:11 a.m., you can visually see this was the exact top, one of the best entries. And in terms of timing, the timing was 100% perfect. As soon as I got in, all it did was crash. I got in right here at 10:11 a.m. It was just a straight crash from $397.80 all the way down to under $396. How was I able to do that and then call it for the day? And I also said, in terms of later on to the day within Trader Society, I told people right before Power Hour, when this was at 2:30 p.m., right around here, I told them, SPY's going to close strong. Do not do puts. Avoid puts. I told people that. And if you even look at my trading plan, as you can visually see right here, if we go to my trading plan that I posted in the pre-market at 4:30 a.m., look at this. I said, this is my prediction. We reversed the gap. So the gap was at $393.74 and we closed very strong. Just like yesterday, it closed very strong. And what did SPY do today? It closed very strong. The plans worked out absolutely phenomenal. The plan was to buy at $393.74. And then in terms of puts, the plan was to short the SPY in between the range of $396.11 and $397. I understand $396.11 in terms of today was not a good entry for puts, but we didn't buy puts there. We decided to buy puts at the best price possible at $397.80, and I'm going to show you why it is. So one tip, and I want you guys to write this down. I'm going to share with you the money making plans towards the end of this video, the new bull and bear traps, but I want you to write this down. One tip that I can give you is it's best for the vast majority of the time to skip the mornings. Skip the first 20 to 30 minutes from market open. Skip that. Why would you want to skip that? The volatility is extremely high. There's a lot of chop. There's a lot of short-term micro and micro bull and bear traps. It's hectic. It's stressful. One small bad entry can lead to a big loss. It's less predictable. It's best to wait for people to get trapped first rather than to try to be the one who predicts where the trap is going to happen. So write that down. That's one recommendation I can give for you. Skip the first 30 minutes of market open. Another thing is that you need to understand is the market tends to have short-term reversals around 10 a.m. That's another thing you can write down as well. And you can determine that by using 30-minute charts. So I know that the market likes to have short-term reversals at 10 a.m. And SPY was approaching a double top and it's towards 10 a.m. So in my mind, I'm thinking if this starts to crash, I'm going to look to get in puts. So at 10 a.m., it started to reverse. It started to crash. I did not buy puts at the exact double top. I waited for it to be confirmed bearish. What's my confirmation that it's bearish? It double topped, it's 10 a.m., and it crashed for new lows. Very, very quickly, it had a big crash. So do I go buying puts into this dip at the pre-market support at the worst entry? No. What I do is I buy puts at 10:11 a.m. right here at the exact top where I alerted puts at 10:11 a.m. Why 10:11 a.m.? Because previous support. Where's your previous support where the bull trap got created? Right here. It was forming support at $397.80 and it started breaking out, but it never hit my max pain level. It never hit my max pain level. Max pain for puts was at $398.50. I was not in puts at the time. I was waiting for better confirmations, and my confirmation was, okay, this just sold off very, very nicely. It topped out towards the max pain and it dropped from 398.34 and it just got new lows at 397. So to me, that's bearish. And it was forming a bearish double top M pattern, which is micro bearish. So what do I do when it's crashing? I don't go buying puts into the crash when it looks bearish. I buy puts when it looks bullish after it's confirmed bearish. So my confirmation that it's bearish is it formed a double top, bearish M pattern. It had a very nice drop very, very quickly at 10 a.m. Market likes to have short-term reversals at 10 a.m. There's my confirmation. First 30 minutes is up. The games are done being played. The traps are done being set. It's time to actually trade. So what do? I buy puts and I short SPY at the previous support. Where do you determine where the previous support is? Well, you can see right here, this is resistance. 390.70.80 is resistance. SPY broke above resistance, meaning that previous resistance is going to try to react to support. But if it cracks and reacts as a resistance, like it did right here, then it's super bearish. So now your previous support is back at that resistance, that 397.80. This is your previous support level. So if SPY cracks massively off that previous support, right here, this 397.80 level, this is where your support was because it started to break out. If it cracks massively, wait for it to pump back up and then buy puts when it retests. Buy puts on the top of the retest when it goes back to this previous support, this red line. This is where you buy puts. This is why I bought puts at the exact peak, because that's where your previous support was. A micro bear trap just got created at this support level, right? Because this is at support and it's going to try to spike back to previous support. It's at pre-market support. It's going to try to spike back to this previous support before going further. That's why I wait for it to spike back up to the previous support instead of shorting into the dip. I wait for it to rip back up, and then once it touches that rip, I say, okay, it's confirmed bearish. I'm just going to get in. I'm going to get in, buy my puts there. Max risk 398.50. It works perfectly. I sold into the dip when it dropped under 397, and then from there, I did the same thing again. Right here, it cracked under 397. It went from 390, it went to 396.50. So guess what? Where's your new support? Your new support is right here. This is your new previous support at 390.70. This is your new previous support where it bottomed, right? Well, it cracked that. So when it spiked back up to 390.70, when at 397, I alerted puts again at the exact peak. I alerted puts right here again at the exact peak, and then it dropped some more and I sold. And then from there, I said, okay, I'm done. I'm not going to try to keep milking the trend. I'm not going to try to keep playing for this gap to fill below 393.74. I had two nice trades. I'm going to call it. And then I called it from there, and that was it. And then towards power hour, I told people that this is very bullish at 2:30 p.m. I told them, this is very bullish. It's going to try to close strong. And my plan had stated that in the pre-market at 4:30 a.m. I said right here, my prediction is we reversed the gap. It reversed at the gap in the pre-market at 393.74, and it's going to close very strong, just like it closed very strong yesterday, right? How did I come up with that? I explained this plan in the video yesterday. The reason why I came up with that is I looked at the pattern and I said it's going to try to close strong. This is why I said if you can buy calls at 393.70, it's very, very ideal. This is the pattern that I came up with, and this is what I told you guys to look for. You had these three candlesticks right here. You had these three candlesticks right here. It's all very similar. So if it's starts to turn the previous closing price, that 393.70 into support, it's going to try to rock it and it's going to try to close strong just like it did right here. And look, it formed the same exact candlestick, right? Because it was forming that 393.70 floor in the pre-market, which is bullish. Therefore, it's going to try to close strong and bullish like this. This is why I was telling people as we were approaching power hour to avoid puts. Puts already worked. They're going to try to close it strong now, just like they did yesterday, just like they did with this pattern. So that's the recap in terms of Trader Society. We are absolutely crushing it, man. The results have never been better. Look at the polls. 67 people are green, only 2 are red within Trader Society today. And the polls here yesterday, 81 are green, 14 are red. Look at the polls within Top G's, the first professor within Trader Society. Look at the polls in his service. Yesterday, he had 62 people green. He just launched the service, 9 people red. And then today, he had 83 people green, only 1 red. We are absolutely crushing it, man. There is no team out there that is doing this as accurate as we are within Trader Society. We are dedicated and devoted to crushing the SPY every single way, every single day, both trading ways, long and short, calls and puts. So in terms of my trading plan, for those of you who stay to the end of these videos, let's get into that. So in terms of the trading plan and what I want you to understand heading into tomorrow, this is what I'm seeing. We can potentially have a small spike, but it's going to crash within time. So in terms of your levels that I want you to focus on, there's going to be 3 levels, folks, and that's it. We can even say there's 4 in a sense, but let's focus on 3 levels right now. So this is where we're at in terms of the market. Based off of this pattern that I've been showing you, it's been working very, very well. This pattern right here that I've been showing you, right? It shows on the next day that it does spike a little bit. It spikes 4 points above the previous closing price, and then it starts to sell off, and then the next day gets crushed, right? So if that pattern repeats, and then this is what I can tell you, 4 points above the closing price today, so it closed at $399. So if this hits 402 to 403, that's your best price for puts. Your best price puts for possible is at 402 to 403. Right here, we have major resistance at 401.50. What I can tell you is this 402 to 403 zone is going to be your best price possible for the next micro bull trap. So if you see it go to 402 to 403, that's your best price possible, right? So just write that down. That's not the best setup though, but that is your best price possible for puts, in my opinion. Now, what we need to discuss is this 398.91. So in order for this to go to 402 to 403, it needs to hold 399 and it needs to form solid support at this 399. If it cracks and reacts as a resistance, then they're just going to try to rug this back to $398, right around there. So there's some complications. I'm seeing some complications with buying puts if 399 reacts as a resistance. I would say the best thing you could do is to wait till 402 for puts. If you see 399 reacting as support, it's going to go super bullish. If you see it reacting as a resistance level, what I will say is do not expect a big drop. And if you scalp puts at 399, max pain is 399.50, and reward is not too big. Reward would be like 398 at the most. Do not aim big, right? So 399 is make or break. If it holds, we're going to go to 402 to 403 and then nice sell off within time. If it cracks, I don't think we're going to have a massive drop if it cracks. I think we're going to start to bottom out towards 398, 397.50, and then start to rocket back up. That's what I personally believe. So what I can tell you in terms of if you're just watching this video and you want to do what's absolute best for you, this is what I can say. Wait for 402 to 403 to buy puts. 399 is not going to be the easiest level to trade out. It's more professional. And then in terms of what I can say as well for calls, wait whenever it's going to happen, whether it's this week or next week, wait for 393.74, right? So based off of just this video alone, best levels to be trading, in my opinion, puts 402 to 403, calls 393.74. Whenever it happens, it happens. Now, in terms of some levels that I do want to bring awareness to, these are your overall levels, and this is what you need to understand if you want to write this down as well. If you ever see 399 react to support, react as a floor, it's going to go bullish and they're going to pump it to 402 to 403. Then it should drop very, very nicely within some time, right? So you can write that down. If 399 reacts as a roof, the next level it's going to want to drop to is going to be towards $398. If 398 cracks, then we go to 397, 396. But like I said, I would be extremely cautious with buying puts at lower levels, and I would just wait till 402, 403. If you're going to do 399, do not aim big and make sure there's a roof at 399. Max pain for puts is 399.50, right? And then in terms of calls, the best thing you can truly do is to just wait for 393.74. Now, in terms of levels of interest, if you're more professional and you understand how price action works and you're doing very, very well in the market, just keep an eye on 399. Keep an eye on, this level right here. This is another key level I would watch for as well. 395.58. 395.58 is very, very key. So just to go over some basic price action analysis, 402 to 403 is your best level for puts. 399 is make or break. If it cracks, I don't think we're going to see a massive crash, but we will drop to around 398, 397.50. If it cracks below that, then we go to 396. If 396 ever cracks, we go to 395.58. If 395.58 ever cracks, we go to 393.74, right? Based off of what I'm seeing heading into tomorrow, like I said, 402, 403 is your best price possible for puts. 399 is a make or break level. If you do puts at this level, then 399.50 is your max risk. 399.50 to 400 is your absolute max risk. And if you do calls at that level, it's not, if I were doing calls, I would rather just buy if it looks bearish. If I were doing calls and I wasn't trading the best tips, best prices, I would probably look to get in towards under 397. That's probably where I would look to get calls and ride it back up to fill the gap, right? So those are just some ideas. If this gap's down, I would avoid puts. We don't do puts on gaps down. If it does end up gapping down like it's trying to is barely, just avoid puts and look for a dip buying opportunity. I don't think it's going to go this low tomorrow, but the best price would be 393.74. Whenever it happens, right? So just understand when you're trading these videos, you really have to use the best levels possible. We're going to be trading multiple levels in terms of tomorrow. So my levels that I'm watching, 402, 403. I'm watching 399. I'm watching 390, 396 to 399.50 and 394 and then 390. Those are all my levels that I'm watching. In terms of anyone who's like not a professional and you're just trying to utilize this video to the best of its capabilities, I would focus on 393.74, 402, 403, and you can keep an eye on 399. Just don't get stuck in a trap. Understand that 399 is tricky because they're going to try to pump this to 402, 403 to sell off. A little sell up is coming. But they're also going to try to spike this. They're also going to try to, crash this towards 399. So it's a little tricky right now. So like I said, it's best to just focus on puts at 402, 403. Instead of trying to buy calls at 399, look for calls at a lower level. Your best level is 393.74. If it gaps down, you can also look into this 396 lower range. That's my thoughts. That's my analysis for the SPY, the main levels and main zones that we will be targeting heading into the rest of this week. 402, 403, that's your best zone for puts. 399, we're going to keep a close eye on it. That's going to determine whether we have a big crash or we pump to 402, 403, then we have a big crash. That will help determine that sense. Also going to keep a close eye on this 395.58 and then 393.74 and 390. Your best levels, just to recap, 402, 403, 399. It's an okay level, not the best. 402, 403 is a lot better. And then 393.74 is a decent, very decent level for calls. And then your best level for calls is 390. Wait to trade those levels. Trade the best setups, the best prices. Lower levels, we're focused on calls. Higher levels, we're focused on puts. In terms of puts, best thing you do, 402, 403. With that being said, if you want to be a part of Trader Society, I'm telling you guys, every single day, we're absolutely crushing it. If you want to be a part of this community, we're going to be raising the price end of March. Now is the best time to join. People are getting results. They're making back more than the cost of the program within their first week. If you want to be a part of it, it is a one-time fee. It is a lifetime access. If you're a member within Trader Society as well, you will also have the opportunity to join the new professor service at an extra cost. It does not cost a lot, but you can join his service as well if you like. We are absolutely crushing it within Trader Society. My service is a one-time fee. It is a lifetime access, and you get access to the live trading, the voice challenge. You get access to the SPY trading floor with the moderators and professors within the SPY trading floor. You also get access to the real-time trade alerts, the real-time trading plans, and my market updated analysis. So if you want access to all of that, along with the video lesson library that's going to teach you all of the gap trading strategies step by step, it is going to be the first link down below in the description. Now is the best time to join. It is a one-time fee. It's lifetime access. We will absolutely crush it again tomorrow. Like I said, man, the polls are in and my team is getting results. Top G's team is getting results. We're all getting results as a whole, man. These polls, the numbers are all within the polls, man. And people are making absolutely bank, man. I'm telling you. Dimitri today made over $18,000. The guy was making like $1,000 to $2,000 trading penny stocks a year ago. I put him onto SPY. We taught him the strategies. Now he's making 5 figures a day. Who is doing it? Who has this community and this power? I'm telling you, the money-making floor is in the SPY floor. That's what the money-making floor is. And Top G's new service as well. He's absolutely crushing it, man. I'm telling you, I've been looking for a professor for a very, very long time within my educational career. In terms of trading, I've been trading for over a decade. In terms of running an actual educational company, I've been doing that for 5 years. I took one break at one point. But I've been looking for a professor for a very, very long time, and I've never seen anyone as good as him. I'm telling you, I do not put people on and give them that spot and that power, and he truly deserves it. So big shout out to him because he's absolutely crushing it. So if you guys want to be a part of it, it's the first link down below in the description. I will see you tomorrow. We'll be trading live.